ask. So kudos and gratitude to her for that.
Okay, but trust that I will be right here, and I will have your things ready to put in the chat and um, all of that
Yep,
good stuff. So if you'll want to go ahead and take it away,
you rock.
do the introductions and all that.
Okay. Well, thank you so very much, Felice. Guys, we have a lot of very, very exciting things to talk about this evening. And we currently have 67 participants, 68, and it just keeps getting higher. You would think that we were looking at the ATLA all-time high today, as high as this is going. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get started. Since we were just a couple of minutes late, we'll let some people just continue to jump on. This call is for those of us who are already participating in the DAISY or Blockchain Sports Limitless programs. So if that is you, you are definitely in the right place. And we welcome you tonight. Again, we've got a lot of exciting things to talk about. Our fearless leaders, Richard and Gina, are out of pocket this evening, but we are going to do our very best to hold the banner high in their stead. And Kevin and I are going to be kind of tossing the baton back and forth tonight, talking about all of the updates on the global calls, both the DAISY as well as all the exciting news that we heard from Blockchain Sports and all of that. So without further ado, I am going to also introduce one of our other fearless leaders, and that is Kevin Edwards. You guys all know and love him dearly. He is fabulous, a fabulous speaker, and we appreciate him. We appreciate his leadership in our group. And Kevin, would you like to talk a little bit about the exciting news that just came down the pike today for the pricing? My goodness.
It fell through the floor. I'm just kidding. Just kidding. Goodness gracious. Hi, everybody. My name is Kevin Edwards. You might remember me. I used to do all of the blockchain presentations to begin with. And the reason I start with that is because I remember back when I was doing the presentations, we said that on a very, very conservative type of choice, that we would probably start opening at about $5.50. And we ran through a bunch of numbers at $5.50. So imagine our surprise when we opened at $10.80. And imagine my surprise today when I saw that the high for the athletic coin all time hit $55 today. Okay, $55 today. Now, I know you're excited about that, but we have to come back down to earth a little bit because it did come back down to earth and it's now trading at $51. So the all-time high was hit today and it's trading at $51 on the MEXC platform right now. Sally, I'm just a quick question. Did you see the video that I sent you from Jeremy?
That is so exciting. You want to play that? We can play that.
Yeah, we can. Let me see if I can send it to you. If you just go ahead and chat a little bit and I'll try to pull it up and get it out to you.
So, sorry to interrupt, but I just looked at MEXC and it says today's high, 24-hour high was $58.08.
$58. Okay, so I'm a liar. There you go.
So MEXC says 58 and CoinMarketCap says 55, but nonetheless, guys,
wow,
fabulous news, right? Absolutely fabulous news. So yeah, guys, I mean, I saw a t-shirt the other day and it had Bitcoin on it. I'm going to totally have that t-shirt remade and we're going to have Atla put on that. And it says, told you so. Because how many people have we talked to throughout the period of time that were like, oh, that little oh, they're there. Week who I was talking to, and they actually bought a Founders Pack 1, but they're still not complete believers, right? And so they were considering buying some coin, and a buddy of them talked him out of it and said, yeah, that's not going to be anything. And so I actually sent him the screenshot today. And I said, okay, all right. Later on, you're going to be kicking yourself while we're all like sitting in our yachts someplace, while we're all sitting here, sipping Mai Tais somewhere. But okay. So I just want to congratulate you guys for your courage and also for your stick to itiveness through this process. We've, of course, with any I don't know about you, but I've been a part of quite a few startups in the corporate space, and timelines never happen the way that you think they're going to. You always try, you shoot for it, but it doesn't always happen. And then you launch something that is this big, something that is global. Um, yeah, of course. Of course, it's going to be delayed. So thank you guys for your courage and your heart and just sticking through it. And you're going to reap the rewards. We're just starting to see the tip of the iceberg with that. Hey, Kevin, are you ready?
I think I am. I'm waiting to see if I can share my screen, if we
Okay.
can do that.
Felice, do you have the controls for that? Because I do not. Bear with us, guys.
Oh, I think I've got it. I think I'm
All
good.
right. Sounds
I'm going
good.
to see if I can do it right now.
Fabulous.
Can you see my screen?
Yes.
All right, let me go ahead and press play. And here we go.
Huh. Can't hear it.
We're
Let's
not
see.
hearing the sound. Can you go back and change your settings, Kev, to make sure the sound's on? Thank you.
All right, hold on. Let me stop my share. It didn't give me the options, but let me see if I can.
No matter how many times you do these things, there's always little bugs, guys.
Yeah, no worries. It's been a while for me.
Yeah.
Let's see if we can do it. All right. Now we should probably be getting it to work. All right, ready? Nope. Hold on, wrong screen.
We see you and your beautiful wife.
Yeah, I know. She's beautiful. Too bad I'm not. Oh, goodness. Let me go back out again and see if we can do this one more time here. But this is actually like the most exciting day in blockchain sports history, as far as I'm concerned. So,
Absolutely.
yeah. All right.
Absolutely.
This is it. This is it.
Isn't it?
Absolutely incredible. When we get to make this public announcement, it's going to be massive. He's going to be literally the official face of the project and bringing over 500 top rated influencers who are going to be promoting the Boostify platform, the $15 Atla coin. It is going to be so big for this community, so big for this project. We could not literally have asked for a better, more perfect endorsement than this. And it's more than an endorsement, it's a full partnership. They are all in. Here's what he said: this is the biggest blockchain project in the market right now, and he is ready to go all in with his entire team. So guys, this is just another layer of huge news. Congratulations to all of us for being first, to being upfront in this project. Congratulations to the Blockchain Sports Atleta team. Way to go. Great things are coming. We'll talk to you guys.
Woohoo.
Yeah, that is really, really it. Now, I just want to let everybody know that there is such a thing as insider trading, okay? And this is really insider information, and it only comes to us through one of the founders. As you can see, that's Jeremy, who's one of the founders. It comes to us. He has not released the name, so in the first part, just don't think that he said who this person is. They haven't made the official announcement yet. But there has to be some kind of a buzz going around in the blockchain community for our coin to spike like it did. So if it has spiked just because of the buzz, it will spike again once that name is released. So I really think that 55, whatever the high was, 58 today, whatever the high was, we can expect it to go at least another X amount of dollars upwards because of that. But again, that's sort of like insider trading. We here up in the community already know that it's moving up. It's moved up. It's only, God, Sally, how long has it been? Has it been 4 months yet? It hasn't even been 4 months. It's only
No,
been about
no.
so. And it's gone from 10 to $68. And like I said, once this person, whoever it is, and I'll throw out three possible names just because I did a little research. I don't know if these are the people, but I'll get to that in just a second. But whoever this person is, just on their word, it could go up even more. To be honest with you, I didn't do anything crazy in terms of research. All I did was ask who are the three biggest sports influencers in the world. Three of the first four that came up are actually soccer players. One of them was actually on stage in Dubai when I was there with Gina, who isn't with us today, but we all know who Gina is. One of them was with us on stage there in Dubai, and the other, well, two of them were on stage there with us in Dubai. The three names are Ronaldo, Messi, who most people here in the States now know because he plays for UFC Florida or whatever it is, and Neymar. Neymar is another very, very famous soccer player. So maybe it's one of those three. If it's one of the world's biggest sports, soccer, influencers. So maybe it's one of those three. But whoever it is, I can only imagine that the coin will go up even further than it is right now. So that's really the most exciting information that we've had of the day, although there's a lot of other things to talk about. But just to think about it, you guys have just bought some Tesla, some Apple stock
Yeah.
from the very beginning, and we know how that has gone. So we believe truly that this will go the same way.
Absolutely. I couldn't agree more. And, when they say to the moon, I think that what Gregory was saying, if any of you were on the global call, Gregory was the perfect CBDO, Chief Business Development Officer, for them to hire because he is so in love with this project and he is so motivated. And he was saying it's going to go far beyond going to the moon. He said, Elon Musk, you just watch. So I agree with him. I think it's going to do absolutely fabulous things. So without further ado, we'll try to calm some of our hype just for a moment so we can also go over some of the other things that we learned in the past week. So let's shift gears just for a moment and talk for those of us who also participated in the DAISY project. Let's just shift gears and talk about the high level on that global call. That was also exciting. I don't know if any of you guys are on blood pressure medicine or if you need to be after this week. I don't know. But we've had some great, great news. So, as far as Daisy is concerned, Kev, would you like to share some of the top things that you took away from that global call?
Sure. A lot of folks have been in on the DAISY as part of Limitless. They've been in on the DAISY project, and we've been in on the DAISY project from the beginning. And one of the things that is really, really exciting right at the moment is DAISY has always had a relationship with a company called Endotech. You probably know that already. I just want to remind everybody that Endotech is a $2 billion company right now as it stands. They've not gone public yet, although they are planning to do so soon. We, as the Limitless DAISY community, own 22% of a $2 billion company, which again will only go up once they go public. So we'll own 22% of a even bigger than a $2 billion company. Now, that was always part of Plan A, as we would call it, in as far as DAISY go. And for those of us who are in DAISY, we know that Plan A has been stalled. There have been some delays in the payouts of DAISY, but the process of it going public is still going forward. It just hasn't happened yet. And again, not only do we get equity in DAISY, but we're also going to get payouts in other ways based on the money that we have put into DAISY. So that's coming. It's still coming. But because the founders are professional businessmen who care about the community that they developed, and we are some 200,000 plus strong in that community, they know that they needed to put together a plan B. And again, everybody, strap in, put your seatbelts on, because again, what I'm about to tell you, tied with what has gone on today, will again get you up out of your seats. The founders have always talked about a plan B, and that plan B was basically they were going to put Atla coin into the pockets of the people who have been in Daisy, just to kind of get them the chance to get some money back. Well, what the founders actually did was they put 50 million Atla coins back into the Daisy community. And at today's list price, the reason I laugh is because yesterday the listed price on Monday, when we got the call, the listed price was like $40. Okay, and now we're at $51. So just in the span of 4 days, we have exponentially increased the amount of Atla price that will come back to the community, which is just absolutely crazy. So just so that you know, that, like I just said, they put 50 million Atla coin back into Daisy, and that is something that will get paid out to the community. It's called their Plan B, just because we've been loyal, we've been steady, and we've been waiting, and they know that they need to do something to get that money back in our pockets. So expect that payout. I think they were talking towards the end of the month, but as we know, they are so good with deadlines that I'm expecting it to come maybe in the middle of November, which would be awesome for us as a community. So that's really everything for the most part about Daisy, about the Daisy project. Number one, Plan A is still Plan A. It's still out there. It's still going to happen. It's just taking longer than we thought it would. And as a result of it taking longer, the founders have decided to give us a little bit of a Plan B. And that Plan B is 50 million Atla at $51 a coin. Never mind. My head hurts. Sally, my brain is hurting. So why don't you go
I
ahead
hear you.
and
And you know, the other thing too to think about too, guys, is what does that do for me personally? It helps me to even more feel very, very confident with the founders, because that 50 million didn't come out of the overall bucket. That came from
no,
their personal pockets. Can you
exactly right.
imagine giving that up? That is yours. You've done all of this work. You've put all of this work and effort in, but because you want to do the right thing for the community, because we had the courage to come alongside them and crowdfund that project, they said, we've got to pay them back for their diligence and for their courage and them sticking with us through this thing. So we're going to take this out of our own pocket. To me, that says a lot, because they did not have to do that.
No, they did not. But that's the kind of community, that's the kind of leaders that they are. And I'm very excited. I've met them. I've had breakfast with Edward. I've sat and chatted with Jeremy. We've had coffee together. I know them, and I know exactly what their heart is. And I really, really, really have enjoyed the ride that we've been on. Although the road is rough, it still feels good to me. You know,
Yes.
so.
And it's
So
a good thing that we're not in it together, or we're not in it alone. We're in it together. So.
right, right, definitely. And it's really awesome that we've got like 90 people on this call listening to this, and that just is impressive with respect to all the information that has come out this week. It's very important that you get this information and share it and be excited about it. And just a quick reminder, going back to the Atla coin, we are in the last week, we think, of being able to sell the coins at the current price. And I think it's a little under $1. Was it 92, 94 cents, somewhere in there? They've got 10 million coins left to sell. They would really like to sell those coins. It's got to be a very easy sale now when you figure that the coin has just skipped, hopped, and jumped up another $15 per. So it's got to be a much easier sale with respect to showing people and telling people, hey, look, you can buy these coins now today at 92, 94 cents, but come after Tuesday, that exact coin is going to be $15, okay, for the investor round that comes around here. So just to let you know that.
Yeah, so speaking of that, let's just chat real quick about that, the private sale. So as we know, they did extend the private sale until this coming Tuesday, the 21st. So whenever they actually, it's for us here in the US, it's not really Tuesday. So that's Tuesday, 11:59 UTC time, which actually translates to Monday, 6:59 p.m. Central Time. I'll say that again. That's Monday, 6:59 p.m. Central Time. So what's going to happen is either that 10 million will sell out before then, or they will still go ahead and cut it off at that time. So it's really not the 21st, it's actually the 20th. Just be aware of that. If you have any stragglers coming in under the wire, make sure you get them in, get them funded, and get their sale done before, I would say, 6 p.m. Central Time on Monday night. Now, we know that the original allocation, words are hard tonight, the original allocation was 65 million. So now we're down to about 10 million remaining. So that's the last little bit. But they are still going to cut it off on, like I said, Monday night, our time, 6:59. So be prepared about that. Now, Kevin, I think we were talking also about some of the things that they're doing just to extend and expand our exposure, something about regional partner models. Do you want to talk about that and kind of share some information on that?
Yeah, for those of you who were on the call, Dima was very, very, very excited to introduce us to, I think his name is Zach David from Singapore. He is going to be our regional, I don't want to say director, but regional representative, brand partner in the Singapore area, the Asian area. And Dima was very, very excited to have him on board. And Dima also had mentioned that they're looking for regional type of partners all throughout the world in different regions. And that was something that he wants to do. And it sounds like he's in a hurry to make that happen, because he was practically begging people to text, email, write, send a carrier pigeon or whatever to him to be able to become a regional person in the area that you are in, wherever that might be. Now, I don't know exactly what the detail of the obligation is, but I would imagine it's just being a resource to those people in the area, being a brand partner with respect to highlighting and broadcasting the fact that you're a part of the blockchain sports community and you can answer questions and help people get involved, so on and so forth. So I think there's a lot of that opportunity there, but he wants to do that with everybody, with all the regions across the world. And I was talking to Sally earlier, and I was saying that I might consider doing something like that. I think that's an important thing. I would do it for our group. You have to remember something when it comes to blockchain sports. Our group is the second largest group in the world. Okay. We happen to know the leader of the first largest group, and that happens to be out of Japan. But we're the second largest, and we're by a good margin. So I really, really think that having at least 1 to 5, maybe, people who are regional partners for blockchain sports would be very, very important and very, very good for us as a community to do. So if you're considering that in any way, you can reach out to me, or we can talk a little bit more about it. I'll try to get some more information about it. Like I said, I'm really considering doing that. Granted, I probably won't do anything, Sally, until after January. Hint, hint.
Right.
But yeah, definitely. But I definitely think that that's something. And the reason why I say that is because Dima was so excited about the prospects of having regional partners all across the country, and Zek being the first. You can just see him gushing over the fact that that process has begun. So I'm really considering it, and I hope some of you out there consider that as well. It can only help the pocketbook, is what I would like to say. So there you go.
Absolutely. And it's great for the US to represent and to just show that we do support the project infinitely, not just with our pocketbooks, but with our hearts too. So I think that that's
Right.
really important. Thank you for sharing that, Kevin. And I look forward to that. I think that's going to be fun too.
Yeah, I agree
So
totally.
so let's shift gears a little bit to the OTC platform. So the beta is live. We have been in the process. Everybody has been working towards getting their onboarding pages set up and going through the directions. Felice has a link for each one of those directions, each one of those steps, including a page that we put together for kind of some tips and tricks if you get stuck. You can also go to the Telegram channel. There's a frequently asked questions post on the Telegram channel that talks about if you get stuck in this place, do this. If you get stuck here, do this. So that is very, very helpful information to have. But I will tell you another tip. If for some reason you get stuck, if you go to the, and I'm going to say it twice, if you go to the new.iamlimitless.io, not on the APM, not on the OTC, but the new.iamlimitless, where the chat bot is. If you go to that one and go down to the bottom right corner, there's a place where you can actually click and turn in a support ticket. Please only do that if you have exhausted all of the directions, you've looked at all the tips and tricks, and you've gone to your leadership and you're still stuck, then turn in a ticket, because we don't want to just say, hey, I can't get my VPN to work, let me turn in a support ticket. No, we actually want to try to work through the best that we can, go through all of the resources that are available. Felice is going to drop these links for you guys. By all means, please pick those up. And the idea is go ahead and start getting familiar with that OTC platform now. Even if all of your coins don't show up immediately, that is a very common thing that they stated on the frequently asked questions. It's in the process of happening. But if you wait for a couple of days and it still hasn't, then go ahead and turn in a support ticket and they can work with you on that. But the other thing too is once it's all live and once you're in on the OTC platform, you will see that there's a tab there that says Marketplace. You can click on that and you can actually play around a little bit with the bids, with the sale bids. They want us to be able to look at it, play with it, see the way that other people are putting their bids out there. And they want us to be able to familiarize ourselves before they actually flip the switch. And Kevin and I were talking, I find it very, very, very pertinent to share this information. And if you're doing something else right now, if you could just stop for just a moment and hear us, because this could potentially save you thousands of dollars. I find it very important when I noticed some of the orders people were putting in, and some might have just been for play, but it's very, very important to share this. There were some we'll say play bids that were put in, and here's an example. 100 Atla for $5. Okay. When you're putting it in, you're not putting in the price for each one. You're putting in the ultimate price for the entire group. So if it's 100 Atla, you put in the price that you want for the 100 Atla, not the price that you want per coin. Let's say, for example, that poor unfortunate soul that wanted to put in 100 for $5. Let's say that the switch got flipped during that time. Now, right now, those are only staying active for 24 hours. But let's just say the switch got flipped while that was active. Some shark out there is going to see that and say, I'm on it. Yes. And that poor person just sold 100 Atla for $5 and they're going to be crying. So we don't want that to happen to you guys. We want you to be educated. We want you to be paying attention and being aware. And then that way you just kind of know and you're educated ahead of time. Okay? Kevin, do you have anything to add to that?
Yeah, it would break my heart if somebody sold 100 at $5. That would just kind of really break my heart to hear that happen. But these, and I just want to kind of promote a little bit of what we do here on Thursday nights. Well, with our great friend Gina does here on Thursday nights. This is where you come to get that information. It's very important to stay plugged in. It's very important to be on the WhatsApp page, the Telegram pages, and stay plugged in, because we don't want to see people making those kinds of mistakes. The money is just too much. It's just too much to lose. And you can do the math very easily to figure out what you would have lost if you sold 100 and they're worth $50, and you sold 100 for when they're worth $50 each. Let me back that up. And you sold 100 of them for $5. That is, yeah, that would break my heart if someone did something along those lines. That's terrible. So stay plugged in, be with us here on Thursday nights. I know that Sally and I are both typically around on Thursday nights on the calls, although Gina does take control of everything on Thursday nights, and obviously Richard as well. Richard and Gina really do a great job, but Sally and I do a good job too. So you know, but anyway. We can. I know that there's some questions in the chat. I'm trying to answer some things as I go, but just feel free to light up the chat, and we'll get to those questions toward the end. I know we still have a lot more to talk about, and what I do want to talk about is we're going to go back to blockchain sports a little bit and talk about the major influencers and what's happening out there in the field. Especially with the arena, when the arena opens up. Did you, Sally, I don't know if you even knew this. I just saw this before, after I talked to you today, that they have a phone app for the arena that they have not released yet, but they're getting it ready. And it's like, unbelievable. That's way cool. But
Very.
Yeah, at the very beginning of the project, we talked a little bit about when I was doing the presentations and all, we talked about having some academies. The academies that we had were 3 at the moment, and there were 2 others that were planned. The 3 were in not Spain, Brazil. 3 were in Brazil. And they were planning on 1 in Japan. They were planning on building another one in Africa someplace. And I know that the ones in Brazil were under construction, so on and so forth. But now that blockchain sports has gotten a little bit of a reputation, a little bit of traction, other already established academies want to be a part of this program. And so from the 5 academies that we were kind of talking about maybe developing and bringing to the fold, there is now over 100 academies that have already signed contracts with blockchain sports. So that piece of the project is exploding. If you remember, there are several moving parts to blockchain sports. The first part is the Atla coin, and that's where we've already talked about the money that's possibly being made there. There were 2 other avenues. One was the in real life activities, and the other were the validation activities of the nodes that we bought when we came into the project from the very beginning. These academies fit into the quarterly payments once those open up that we were talking about. Those are the in real life stuff that we're going to get paid on quarterly. And to go from 3 to 5 that we were originally talking to over 100 that want to be involved, that is just explosive growth there too. So that quarterly payout could be very substantial as well. So there's so much going on. There's just so much going on. We haven't even talked about the nodes and the validations and all of that stuff. There's no reason to talk about that just yet because it hasn't started. But I did want to let you know a little bit about the growth of the in real life activities that are going on outside of the blockchain sports world. And not only that, from the very beginning, we talked about the expansion possibilities from one sport to the next sport to the next sport. And if I'm not mistaken, on that call, we have heard that there are definite plans. Those plans are still in place. Granted, we currently have drift, and we also have motorsports along with soccer. But there's talk of, if I'm not mistaken, it's cricket. They talk basketball, and they also talk UFC fighting and possibly hockey as well. So just to know that, yes, we have soccer academies. We just put in over 100. There are also there's also a track now for the motocross that's in Spain, and there's also a drift course that's also in Japan. So as we grow and expand on those already existing opportunities, there'll be opportunities in those other sports that I just mentioned, starting with cricket. Now, I don't know, I've never played the game of cricket. I've seen it played, but cricket is like soccer. It's huge in the rest of the world. And so if they can get those two sports on board, they dwarf what we have here in the States, because it's just played in so many other places in the world. So all of that in real life money is hugely exciting as well. So yeah, so I just get out of breath talking about some of
I
this
know.
sometimes. Uh,
Yeah, and
cool.
when we were on the call, there's been multiple calls recently where they've said, one app for them to give us an update is not enough. We need
Yeah.
5 to 10 hours. And that's a massive, massive project that we are just doing the best we can to just keep up and give you guys the very high level. We know that there is a lot more. We know there's a lot more information, but we're just doing our best to disseminate the high level for you. And then go back when you can and listen to the recordings of those global calls for yourself as well. The other thing I wanted to talk about is this next phase that we're stepping into, and that's the global marketing. So they are basically doing marketing not just with the influencers, that's huge in and of itself, but they have multiple different avenues of marketing that they're targeting, different areas, groups of people, different generations of people. They're going out on different platforms and doing marketing, massive, massive campaigns post the private round. And that also does include Boostify. I saw someone post, I haven't been able to keep up with the chat, but I did say someone say, well, what is Boostify and what significance does it have? That is going to be a avenue that at first is basically directed towards the influencers. It gives influencers, because they cannot purchase on this private round. So they don't get the 92-cent Atla coin that your friends and family do because they're connected to founders. You're kind of a big deal, guys. So if you didn't
Yes.
know, you're kind of a big deal. So influencers do not get the deal that your friends and family get. So nanny, nanny, boo, boo. So, but they can go to Boostify and they can pay $15 for the same thing that your friends and family are paying 92 cents for right now. And that will continue to increase. But they can get into Boostify. They, as influencers and promoters and marketing companies, they are all on Boostify and promoting. I jumped onto Boostify today. I wanted to see what it was, and it's actually pretty cool. But that is going to be coordinated blasts by onboarded influencers and various different marketing agencies. Christy says, yes, we're a big deal. She's right, we are. Once all of that is greenlit, guys, you think $50, $51 is big? Guys, we were saying that we thought that it would get, and I know I'm sounding like Gina. I think I went to Gina class of blockchain sports, but I'll tell you, we were talking that it would be in triple digits at Q1. The way that it's going, Kev, I think it's gonna get there earlier. That's just me. What does Gina say? I'm just a girl, but hey,
Well,
it's looking
Sally,
pretty slick right
we're halfway there, and it's been 3 months. Okay.
now. Right.
Q1 ends in my birthday month of March. I would love to celebrate with cashing in maybe one coin. I don't know, but yeah, that's what we hope. That's what the hope is. That's what the hype is.
Right.
I really think that somebody was asking about nuts and bolts and a call. I don't even know if they've got nuts and bolts ready to share with us yet, because this thing is moving so quickly. It's going up so quickly in value. The project is really growing. I'm looking forward to nuts and bolts as well, because let's put it to you this way. What's the bottom line for everybody? How do I get my money? I
Yep.
mean, that's really the bottom line. Right now, we don't know because we don't have that info. But if you take a look, if you step back and actually just take a look at what the heck's going on, you can see that it's, number one, the money is there and it's just getting bigger and bigger and bigger. So when the time comes to get paid out, or the time comes to get that, like I was saying, quarterly reward for in real life stuff, or the daily rewards that we're going to get for the transactions that go through our nose, I'm
Yeah.
sure that we're going to get that information, and I'm sure that that's going to happen for us. And I can't wait, just like everybody else can't wait.
Right.
But we're going to have to because that's just the way this thing rolls. And let's face it, if you really look at when we, all of us who have nodes and jumped in at the very, very beginning of this, we jumped in on faith, and we jumped in based on the vision that we saw. The vision, the vision constantly changes, but it's the kind of vision that expands, and that vision just keeps expanding. And as long as it's expanding, I'm excited. I've not seen any kind of shrinkage, anybody pulling back and saying, oh no, this isn't going to happen, or that's not, that's the time to kind of worry a little bit. But as long as this thing is expanding and getting bigger and the money is getting bigger, then I can wait for the nuts and bolts to get it out. It's, to make it pay off for us. So just stay excited, stay positive. Granted, it's tough. I know it's tough for some people who might have been counting on some of this money, so on and so forth. But you just have to understand that when this does hit, it's going to take care of every money problem that you have, and it's going to cause you probably more and different money problems, as some of us can attest to. So
Yeah, absolutely. So before we get over to the Q&A, because it looks like we've got, with almost 100 people on this call, which is very exciting. Of course, we're going to
yes.
have a lot of questions, and we definitely want to honor everybody's time, but we also want to do our best to answer your questions. But our last call to action is going to be this. Guys, take some time. Take some time to sit down, block off time, whatever you have to do, and get your OTC platform set up. Even if you don't really want to sell any coins right now, you don't want to be coming back to this later on when it's not top of mind. It's not top of mind for your leader to help you. When we're all in the midst of it and we kind of can remember the tips and tricks, now is the time to do it, whether you plan on selling right now or not. Also, if something in your life happens and you say, hey, it would be really great to just go ahead and dig in and click in there and sell a few coins, well, you don't want to have to be fumbling around with trying to figure out how, right? And how to get your OTC. Let's just all get on. Let's do it now. And right now, while we have this time between now and Monday night, if there is anybody that has been talking to you about wanting to get these coins, you do not want the phone call from them later on when they say, hey, what about that thing? Reach back out to them and say, hey, if you're going to do it, you need to do it now, and help them to make that happen, because this is the last hurrah, the last chance. So without further ado, I think we should probably just go ahead and see if we can't jump into some of the questions. I'm going to open this up, and Kevin, you're faster than me. You've probably already been looking at all of them.
Mhm. Yeah,
What do we got?
there's some standard questions that we really just don't have answers to. And again, I think the bottom line of these questions is, when are we getting our money?
Yeah, sure.
Then that's totally understandable. All of that. I've got, I don't know, Murray wants to know, can he join the chat groups? Our upline is going through life right now and is not keeping up to date. Yeah,
Yeah.
the chat groups are the WhatsApp groups and the Telegram groups that we have. I don't know if Felice can drop a line in there for people to be able to jump onto those things. For Sally and I and Gina and Richard and some of the other folks that have been involved as the leadership of this project here in the USA, what we do is we stay on top of everything, and we chat together, and then we try to distill that down to something that we can give out to other folks and the like. You're more than happy to jump on our chat groups and listen to and be involved in the conversations that we have. I used to do leadership training and that, and one of the things I always would say is, a really good leader steps out in front only so far as he can reach back and pull people with him. You know, you can't, if you get too far out in front and you can't reach back and pull people with you, you're not really leading. And so that's really all we do is we get a little bit ahead of you. We chat a little bit of the information up, and then we reach back and try to pull you guys with us. But really feel free to ask any of us a question. I even sent my email to somebody who was wanting to know a little bit about the regional partners. I don't know much, but I'm going to try to find out how to get involved. And if you want to reach out to me to do that, or you can reach out to anybody actually. And you know, we have a really good, strong group of people who share information and try to do the best that we can for those of us who are involved. So just stay plugged in. That's the best I can tell you.
Okay, and another thing, I'm going to go ahead and answer real quick on this down at the bottom. I typed it, but I see a lot of people are still, they're kind of struggling with the OT pieces, and I can tell you that every
You're freezing up there, Sal.
oh, sorry about that. It looks like there's a little bit. Are we better now?
Yeah.
Okay, sorry about that. I'll talk to Gina and see if maybe we can't have a couple of people here said nuts and bolts call on the OTC and just go step by step. Now, here's the thing, guys. Please try to do it on your own. The instructions are there, and they do give us a, you know, click here, here's an example, click there, do this, do that. But I will try to see if we can't facilitate a call. It probably will not be a Thursday night call, but maybe we can do another one where I can just you know, help to walk a few people through it. But please, if you have leadership, please lean on them and ask them to help. If you don't have leadership, we can try to help. I can try to see if we can't open something up. It does make it, I'll be honest with you, it makes it very, very difficult when I've got, because I just did this for 5 gentlemen in the UK all at one time last night. It makes it very difficult when I cannot see each and every person's screen and see what they're doing. So it's not that I don't want to help you. It's just that we'll have to figure out the best way to facilitate that. And because I have not had the time to think that through, I don't know how we would, but I will do my best to try to do something and we'll get the word out. Okay. Let's see. So what other questions did you see there, Kev, that we need to answer?
Well, something just popped in there from Cindy. Is that the instructions for Limitless Global or instructions given to our last Thursday?
The instructions that I'm referring to that were dropped in by Felice in the chat are all the onboarding instructions. They were also provided on the Limitless official Telegram channel. So if you guys can get onto Telegram, you want to look for the Limitless official Telegram channel. And that is going to also have the onboarding instructions. But Felice did drop those here. Please skim through the chat and please save those for yourself. Download them. Again, there's also some tips and tricks that I have found and that a couple of other people have found. And it's just accumulation of those. But also on the official channel, there are some frequently asked questions. So if you know, say for example, and I'm not going to get too in the weeds, but say for example, you get stuck and one of your drop downs that you're supposed to get during the process doesn't happen. They talk about that in the frequently asked questions. So go through that first, guys, and try to do it on your own. You'll be surprised at how much confidence you have once you do it. Let's see. What else did we see, Kevin?
Well, I'm answering one right now. Somebody wants to know, are the Limitless Founders Packs locked up until 2027? The answer is possibly. You'll have to check your individual wallet. It just depends on when you purchased your Founders Pack. Some are locked up they're typically locked up for the same amount of time, but depending upon when you purchased yours is when yours will open up. But the important thing to know is that the opportunity to stake your locked up tokens is out there. We just don't know what the process is yet. So you'll be able to stake those and make some money on those. But again, check your wallet to see exactly when your tokens will be released. So good. I won't have to type that now that I said it.
Can't see the chats before we joined if we joined late. Okay, well, we can definitely drop those again before we close out the call.
Sure.
On it.
Thank you. I bet you are. You're so awesome.
No, you are.
It sounds like MetaMask will not be needed until the end of the, Jeremy mentioned this and that's right. Yeah. Great. And guys, it looks like Felice is dropping those again. Please go ahead and snag those directions. And when you get in them, they are, again, they're very, very, very helpful. And they're pretty easy. It's got all the screenshots. And then I'll see if I can locate, or Felice is probably on this too, because she's fabulous, but also the link tree. The link tree has all of our, all of the Telegram channels for you guys, and
Yes.
all of the Limitless connections, whether it's Facebook pages or Telegram or whatever. The link tree is a great resource as well. Well, guys, it looks like we have done a fabulous job of honoring your time. We went through a lot of information in a short period of time, actually, if you consider how much there was there. And yes, we're going to drop that. And thank you so much. We're going to get that to you. Guys, thank you. Please reach out to your leadership. Please get your OTC set up. Please, you know, turn in a ticket if for some reason you have exhausted all options and you still can't get it. Turn in a support ticket. They're usually very, very good about getting back to you. And guys, drive it home. We've got just a few days. Let's drive it home. Kev, do you have anything to say to close us out?
Yeah, forget about respecting their time. We just respect them. We respect everybody totally. Thank you so much for being here with us tonight. And you know, these calls are every Thursday. We want to make sure you stay plugged in. Gina, although I have to admit, probably does a better job than Sally and I. But either way, you'll have someone knowledgeable and someone someone presenting the information that will be helpful to you. So always stay plugged in. And again, I can't stress even more to hit the Telegram and the WhatsApp channels and just stay plugged in. And as we learn things, we will share things. And really, that's about it.
Fabulous. Thank you, guys. We appreciate you so much. And we are so glad to be on this ride with everybody. Thank you, guys.
Yes.
Yeah.
Bye-bye
So
now.
everyone, if you'll unmute and tell Kev and Sally, thank you for leading this and giving the awesome information that they did. Again, we as a team are mighty, and that's what we need in this time. So thank you personally, Sally and Kev, for doing this.
Thank you, Felice.
You're more than welcome. And people are still entering the chat, entering the call.
Thank you so much. That was wonderful.
Hey, Christy.
Great information.
Thank you both so much.
You guys were awesome.
Yeah.
Thank you, Kevin. Thank you, Sally. Good to see
for all your
you.
hard
Thanks,
work.
Christy.
All right,
Thank
bye-bye.
you. Great
Thanks,
job,
thanks.
guys.
Always the best, guys.
Thank